interweb. Hello, welcome to This Thing's Got Problems. I'm Eric, and the thing that has problems today is still the C10. Last week before, I don't know, some family things happened and things got shuffled around, and you got to take care of what's important first. We were in the process of digging out the floor support, and that was a pain in all the parts. But it's out, which is good, and now the whole thing can be replaced. I did some tweaking, and how about I just show you what to look out for when you have to replace your Swiss cheese floor support in your 60s, late 60s C10. Okay, come on, let's go over this way. So I got this kind of, just bolted in here because I wanted this lined up before we cut this out. So when this goes back in, it should be this, everything will be, tetanus, this will be all in the correct place. So when you cut all this out, you have the little loop-de-loop omega sign right there. That keeps this from, squishing all your stuff down. But it's in the way, and this slides under, obviously. So that's got to go. You have spot welds there, spot welds there, all along here. And this is doubled. You had a floor pan, and you had this plate, this reinforcement deal, because that's a body mount. So that's got to come out. Clean all this up because you're going to drill your new floor pan. This will all go away too. And then you're going to, re-weld to that. Now, on the other side, and I don't know why these are bolted in. I can only assume it was a production line where they're coming down, they bolt them in temporarily because it does get welded, spot welded on the other side. Eventually, you can kind of see. And they were also on, the back side of this deal. So it's bolted and welded. So if you're yanking on it like a damn gorilla and it's not going anywhere, you got to drill out a couple things and hammer and, chisel and whatever tool you have available to you to get that out. I love the sirens. This better be an emergency, people. I'm making a damn video, all right? So here on this side, you can kind of see where, this is where I'm going to have to drill out and do that. And then it's bolted right there, but there was also some spot welds. So take all that out. And then, eventually you'll get it. And it will be, God, there's still stuff falling. You'll be good. You want to get the new piece in. I wanted to just kind of do a little and then weld on like I did the other side, but there was nothing left. It was bad. So, all right. Oh, look, there's another bullet hole. Stop shooting your floor pans, guys. Jeez. Yes, I'm going back in time and yelling at someone. So what's the plan today? I don't know. Now that I have that in there, I don't think I want to weld it yet. Because now that it lines up, it kind of goes into place where it's supposed to go. But I also have to get the rest of that crusty-ass, rusty floor pan out of there, as well as the kick panel, and I don't want to cut into the new piece if it's already in there permanently. So I think do some cutting, and then maybe work on the other pillar, so that is where it should be before I cut the floor pan out, and then you can slide in behind. I don't know. Decisions. Usually when I have to make decisions, I just start cutting. That's what welders are for, mistakes. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. If I got this in, you can see where the old piece is and where the floor goes. So if this is in, or at least clamped on and ready in the correct position, then I would feel okay about getting, spout weld, all that. Yeah, and that's got to get redone under there too. Nightmare. So, but then I will be comfortable with cutting that out. And I think I'm going to come down this way because this is all still really good up till here. You can even see the holes from the trim, which is crazy considering how bad the rest of it is. It's odd that it was just here. So, anywho's. I'm going to cut where it's bad out there. Probably got to lose part of the floor there. Whole cab corner's going, so that's fine, whatever. But I might do one of these type of things, leave that, but then get rid of, what I mean. So I think this might be next. Cut this out, lose the cab corner, because that's going to be one of the last things you put on anyway. And you can do the alignment and fix all your mistakes visually at that point. But as long as this is where it should be, this should go where it wants to go. And then you can do the floor, and then you put the cab corner on, and as British say, Bob's your uncle. I still don't know what that means. Also had another idea with the hinge pillar. I'm also thinking, before I take this out, even though it's not permanent, it's where, you know, it fits and where it wants to be, and what I everything bent to shape too, I should do this. At least get it cut the right way. So when I take that out and when I cut this off, because then I can get to the kick panel and the floor and everything else, it will be ready to go, if that makes sense. So cut this now, nothing else will move. Hopefully, you know, the rest of this is so bad that it just goes and then it's out of shape. But while it's in shape, cut this, have the new piece ready to go back on, and then, you know what I mean, right? I don't know. So I didn't have a plan, but I think now we have a plan. Pillars. Today is going to be the pillars. And I don't know when this video is coming out. Like I said before, guys, I do this in real time. I have a full-time job that I have to dedicate 12 hours a day to 5 days a week. So I do this when I can, and when, you know, there's other things that come up. Sometimes, you know, you want to go to the drag strip and just watch some cars for inspiration and, you know, cool videos. The ones that are turned the other way, the shorts, that's what they call them. And yeah, check those out on YouTube, by the way. And that's where I do like comedy things. So I'm gonna work on the pillars, and when they're done, and then you'll see it, or you won't. I don't know. That's the plan, though. Well, there's holes down there I can line up too. Yeah, this would be a good time for that. Don't cut the floor out. I just saw other holes, like the ones that you put the bolts through up here, back there. So if those line up, when we lose the floor, then everything, in theory, should go back together. Making my way downtown, gonna throw sparks and burn things. Oh, hi. I think to get this fully where I want it to be, I'm gonna have to take the cab corner off, because there's a little lip that folds over and it keeps it from, you know, fully getting up in its business. So I think we're gonna lose that, because it's gotta go anyway. And then get that guy orientated, maybe throw a couple like self-tappers in there, so when it goes back together and the holes will line up, and then, you know, zzz, zzz, you know, all those sounds that the neighbors love so much. Man, everything under here is just, it's gone. It's just gone. And not, this is a Southern truck. This is not from where I am. Wisconsin's out there. This is not from salt. This is from a design flaw. This is from just mud getting up in places and holding moisture. I believe this truck was Mississippi for a majority of its gun shooting into the floor pan life. But this is what I gotta remove, because it is impeding, correct word? Don't know, where I want to put the pillar replacement piece. I'm gonna cut around here-ish. Who did that? That wasn't me. So we're gonna go about, focus, Eric. We're gonna go about, focus still. We're gonna go about here, because I don't want to mess with this. I want to be under that. I'm gonna leave the dent, probably. I don't know, maybe it won't, or I'll smeg it with a hammer when I'm in there. But this is gonna go right now, I guess. Drill this stuff out, zing, zing. Do I even bother drilling? Because I'm gonna cut anyway. Yeah, I might have to. Let's see what happens. Let me take a little sanding disc to this real quick. I'll show your low spots where your spot welds are. Kind of help identify it a little bit. There's no rhyme or reason to where any of them went. It's just, you know, you can feel them sometimes, and sometimes your drill bit will just settle into the spot, but this, you know, quick reference. La la. Seriously? Okay. It's much louder than you think. What's left of my hearing is not good. That seems loose already. So, all right. What is that? Oh, that's a seam sealer? I think that's seam sealer yet. It is, with a welder tube behind that. It is amazing. This guy smoked so much that just what I just did right there with the wheel, it wafts. And I smoke cigars, so it's like I don't hate the smell of, you know, cigarette smoke or something like that, but it is so strong that it's like it's in the metal. It's insane. That's possibly one. We'll see how that goes. Good. Good starting point. So the Harbor Freight little spout welder, taker outer thingy, it's got like a spring-loaded needle as opposed to it being a very tiny hole saw with a drill bit, which is why I've been doing this. It works without, but you're fighting it. You're fighting the spring in it. So I found it was just easier to do that as opposed to buying, you know, one that's good, that has a bit already attached to it and will outlast this a million times, but I choose to stay cheap. This one might be trash too at this point. But I got two of them. Yep, I think it's time to say goodbye to this one. Got one hanging on the wall. Next. What am I hearing? What are we listening to? See, when people talk over their cars, the infotainment system, they don't realize how thin their doors are, so the speakers are just projecting the whole conversation outside of the car. It's weird. Let's disrupt it. Now, my eyes suck at seeing, which is not ideal for eyes. So I find that, you know, tape helps me follow a line better than, you know, marker. So we're gonna, look, it's the only blue left in the whole thing. I'm gonna say goodbye. Figures. So to keep it somewhat even about where I want to cut, just go with, I'm gonna say the width of the tape. Sure. Something like that. I don't know. I don't know. Actually, scratch that. I got ahead of myself. I think I want to clean this up first. So it's bare metal, and then, you know, why not? Bigger, better. Not always true, but usually. Oh, yeah. seems that, ooh, that's worse than I thought. It seems that it was kind of cared about, as in it was repainted. It was a dark blue towards the end of its run as a work truck, but I found the original color, which is kind of cool. And that's what it was, and that's what it started as. So, yeah. I mean, you can kind of tell by the cab, but I didn't realize they went so wrong with the newer blue. And here's, you know, just give me an idea where those are. That's worser than expected. That all just kind of fell out as I was doing this and it vibrated. Hooray! Just because I'm a curious chimp, I want to know how much I have to mess around with before I find out. I'm not looking for exact, just looking for how much we got to play with here. Which I definitely do not need as much as they give you. We're back to this again. You just, you know, try to find center. I think it just fell out. Back to drilling. Stubborn. All right, where were we? I mean, about here or something. Ah, Jesus! I don't know what that was. So there's that. It's as bad as, you know, I thought. All right, so that was one I didn't see. But here's, you know, about where your spout welds are going to be. So this is all trash. So that floor piece has this, which is good. But there's a brace under here, which is bad. So I'll have to take care of that. But this right here is what I wanted to keep for now so I can get this lined up. Make sense? Sure. So I think that's what we're going to cut next. And then make sure that lines up before we hack any of this away, because that Once that's lined up to this, then this can go away, and then when we line this up, it'll go back to that, and then everything. I just confused myself. All right, so as I was saying, this is where I want to be with the floor. So I'm going to have to. There goes wifey. She's working on bathroom remodeling and getting a tile saw, and I don't know what any of that does. So I'm going to stay out here where it's safe for me. So I want this to line up with the floor here. So I want this on before I cut the floor out. So then when I put the floor back, it lines back up to here. Sure. I think that's about right. Now, how high do I have to go? Because it's pretty solid up here. Maybe halfway? Do you want it? Yeah, because I don't want to do all this if it's not necessary. And ow, right through the glove, more tetanus. This truck probably will kill me. Yeah. Helped my sister move yesterday, so my thighs are on fire. Now, the one thing I don't like about, well, there's a couple things I don't like about these reproduction pieces, other than it saying made in Taiwan, is this angle here. This is more of a 90 on the truck. This is closer to like 45. So I think before I go throwing like a screw in there to hold it in place so I can, stare at it for 38 minutes and decide what the hell I'm going to do, I might throw this in the vise and just kind of bend her back a little. Because I don't know why they thought that was the way that it should be, but it is not. So I just gave her a little cut right there and just bent this back a bit. And I mean, it fits in there better. And I'm not even really going to use most of that, but it was keeping this further out than it needed to be. And I think at the wrong words hard, at the wrong angle. But this seems much closer, and now we can move forward. I'm also thinking what I might want to do is, I'm not going to use this. I'm going to be down here. So I might take this off. Because there's nothing, well, there's something back there. And if I take this off, I can probably get closer to where it should be. Right? Right? I'm also thinking this is in my way and it doesn't need to be here right now. Really, all I'm looking for is this. So this can go. It's mostly gone anyways. So chop chop, and then it should be able to fit tighter, more accurate, These gloves suck. Oh yeah. Yeah, it hurt like hell. It's definitely tighter up in there. So I think. Yeah, let's lose this. Can you still see? Yeah, you can. Let's lose this. And then that'll get her even closer. All right, piece is cut. Got a little more tightness. All right, so, now I can hear. So, oh, hi there. I got this trimmed up. Steel wool lights on fire, by the way. Don't have it near your vise while you're cutting things. Now she gets in there so much closer now and more good to her. And I can tell that this thing wants to spring back because there's the holes right there. All right, so that is what we can clamp to. Then I'm going to do this thing where you just cut through both pieces. So when you go to line it back up, it's the same line. I've seen it done on the YouTubes, and I haven't tried it. Why not? Got her lined up-ish. Well, this kind of matches. This is a little weird here, and I read and also saw videos where people have had to cut this and bent it away because this is a sharper edge than what they give you on this repop version. But, you know, screw lines up down here. So I think I'm just going to go zing and then stick that back on. Plan. Yeah. And we're back. Chop, chop, y'all. Chop, chop. Yep, so this is about what I was going for. You just, you know, directly exact line, excuse me, get the exact line of where you want to be, and then, you know, do the thing. So clean it up, stick it back on there with fire or some kind of electrical heat, and move on. All right. All right, so I got this cleaned up. If you're doing anything anywhere and you can get to it, clean the back. It's going to help your welds. And if your welds are like mine, they're going to need all the help they can get. So both sides, and show you how this lines up when you cut them both at the same time. It's actually pretty awesome. Also, when you're cleaning this up, go slow. You don't want to change the shape. You already have the shape. You did that on purpose for the shape. So don't go, you know, giving her full beans. You just want to knock that, you know, gross edge off. So this is that. Get it, you know, follows the same lines. And you can see how, you know, off the bends are, you know, compared to stock. So I'm going to get her tacked and then, you know, start hammering and dollying and bending and swearing and cussing. Shut up, bird. So what I'm doing right now is tack, tack, tack. And then around, warm, where that little piece was not, it was like at that 45 when it should have been, you know, a little bit more, 90 degrees. Tack, bend, and it's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. I'll show you. It's nothing we can't cover up with a tube of seam sealer. So right here, just, you know, that, and then, you know, a little bend, and then a zzz, and then a little, and then a zzz, and it's pretty much almost there. So that'll be fine. And then, you know, clean that back up with a little zzz, fill that in. Then do the same over here. And this is, oh, where are you going? Like the whole thing, it's not even close. But it's not like these pieces are very expensive. So I guess you get what you pay for. It's all right. It's not bad. I think that's progress. So you have this actually lined up really well. Just, you know, just had to cut that there and bend as you go. Missed a spot there. Don't look at that. I'll hit that later. This I'm going to leave until we're ready for the rest of that going on there, because who knows where it's going to be. But she's good to go. All right, so time is a cruel bitch, and I'm out of it. Mostly because my dog thinks we should go for a walk now. What are you doing? What? Do you think, oh, what? Oh, don't you, oh, where are you going? Oh, where are you going? Oh man, it's like I just set off a dog bomb in the backyard. She's gonna tear up all the grass. All right, so real quick, because I said we were going to do both pillars, and I can't hear myself. We were going to do both pillars on this episode. The front is a lot like the rear, but I can just show you real quick how I'm going about doing this. I'm not going to weld it in yet. I just kind of want everything close to where it can be bolted in, because I'm not sure how it's going to be getting the whole floor extension in. So real quick, let me show you that, and we'll move on. Cut this nasty, what's left of this thing out. Oh no, I still need that. And I have this bolted into what's left. Thankfully, if you're lucky, you still have the holes there on your existing floor. So you know this is a good point of reference, and that's where you want, you know, that's already there. But they didn't drill this side. So you can make your hole there. And what I'm going to do, I got that. I trimmed that down, you know, off camera. You've seen that done a billion times, so I didn't feel like you really needed it. Words are hard right now. It's hot, humid. Yeah, so you've seen that a million times. So that's trimmed down. And what I'm going to do is just take the old piece, which, you know, what's important is this, you know, and that. And I'm just going to, sorry about the camera, shaking. You know, I'm just going to put that in there to where this is lined up. And then, you know, zing, drill the holes, and then chuck this at something. And then I can bolt this, where are we? I can bolt that in place for now until all that is in. Because again, I don't know how it's going to be trying to slip, if I weld that on, to slip behind there, because I still got to get all that crap out and, you know, redo it. So that is about where I'm going to end up on this today with, you know, doing the pillars. I told you we were doing both pillars, so we're going to ish do both pillars. So that one's done. You saw that. And now this is as far as I'm going to take this one, boltable right now. And then, you know, until everything else is in and good and I can move on from this hell. So that is going to do it for this week. Next week, I am going to clay bar my wife's gross ass white Chevy Cruze. If you don't know what rail dust is, you see those little brown specks on usually lighter color cars? It's on everything, but on light color cars, I'm gonna show you how to get rid of that. It is, you know, it's like, I got a nice car. Why the rust spots? Well, your car's not rusting, odds are. It's just it's a surface contaminant, and we are going to eliminate it, and I'll show you how to do that. And then we will get back to this heap of tetanus right here. We like to call our 68 C10. So thank you for liking and subscribing and comments. You guys, you're pretty awesome people. Thanks for checking out the channel and digging on the shorts and all that. And we will talk to you next time.